is the main event.
This is the main event, Mark's Podcast. I am your host, lifelong wrestling fan, former radio guy, cat dad, and I am the anvil to Greg's hitman. I am Troy. Today we are covering Saturday night's main event. That's right, the show that started in 1985 and the first run ran all the way until 1992. Stopped for about 14 years, picked up again, 13 and a half years. It picked up again in March of 2006 and was just kind of I mean, we talk about it on the show. The original run was historic. It was on NBC. It went to Fox for a while, and then it just kind of disappeared. It was so historic and made such an impact on Greg and I. That's actually the inspiration for the name of the show. This show's namesake, this show's original logo, obviously all came from that show. It was a big deal, and we had talked about it at the time of recording this. You'll hear we reference the WWE Network. That's how long ago this audio was recorded. So that should tell you something. But it's never heard before audio of Greg and I on this podcast. So it's all brand new for all of y'all. But it's good stuff. We cover a lot from the show and the history and the impact that it made on both of us and wrestling as a whole growing up, even in WCW, what it meant. We'll talk about that on the show. It was a big deal, man. But we talk about how it didn't work when it came back for certain reasons, and why it did work in its original incarnation. And I believe I don't remember if it was this episode or another one we talked about why at that time it would not work if we brought it back, or WWE brought it back rather. And at the time that was all true. That I stick by that. I'm sure he would, but now it works. It's historic again. We've got major retirements of Goldberg, John Cena, major stars from the business retiring on that show, the whole show dedicated to them, just as it should have been. And people can debate whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, whatever, but it's still a big deal. And they brought it back and made it feel great again, because it ran a couple of shows, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total episodes between March of 2006 and July of 2008. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 8 shows. I apologize. The last one was in August, not July, August of 2008. But either way, it was, or is that air date? I might be totally wrong. Yeah, okay, so that's air date. I was right the first time. Ignore me. But it aired. It filmed in July, aired a few days later in August of 2008. But they brought it back in December of 2024. Since then, they have had 7 episodes of Saturday night's main event. The latest one, we had a great match of between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, giving a dedication to not only their time in WWE, but also their time and their major feud and amazing matches in New Japan Pro Wrestling, homage to what they did at Wrestle Kingdom years ago. It was great, and unfortunately, AJ's calling it quits here soon, hanging up the boots, calling it a career. But man, Saturday night's main event was something. But we're going to get into it right now, and I will see you at the other end of this. I guess it's time here to dive into the subject at hand. It was something that you were very excited to talk about. You've been wanting to cover the subject for a while now. It's the best of Saturday night's main event. You have more memories of this, I'm sure, than I do, because this was before my time as far as like when I started wrestling or watching wrestling.
I think this is what started me on it, actually.
Yeah, it got a lot of people involved in the product that didn't really know anything about it before. It was
on NBC, so you didn't have to have cable to see it.
Yeah,
that was the biggest factor.
And it had huge audiences.
most of the time.
Huge.
Big league audiences. Biggest ever in the history of NBC. Bigger than Leno.
Except for The Apprentice.
That had the best. It was the best ratings of all time. But, this was considered during wrestling's second golden age years ago. I mean, what was the original run date here? Like 80...
I think it was 86 to 92.
Yeah, I guess May 11th, 1985 was the first one.
Oh, 85, right.
Yeah, and then it ran fairly consistently until April of 1991. And then it made a return for a couple of years in March of 2006 and went to August of 2008. I remember those ones. I don't know if I watched every single one. I think I did. I don't know. Nothing really pops out at me as like, yeah, I remember when that happened on Saturday Night's Main Event, you know?
Yeah, but when it came back, there was nothing really big about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was more just like a nostalgia thing. It was big, but I think back in the day, it almost felt like an extra pay-per-view. When it returned, it was just kind of like another show. You know, it was a big show, but it was another show.
Yeah, it didn't have that feel because, Raw and SmackDown are every week, whereas this was like every other month or so special.
Well, plus you got to think the original run, there was 3-4 pay-per-views a year. I mean, there for a while there was one.
Well, there was WrestleMania, and then I guess that was it. Yeah, Survivor Series came in 87, and SummerSlam in 88. Royal Rumble started 89 on pay-per-view, so yeah.
Yeah, so there for a while, I mean, this was in place of their pay-per-views, so it basically was a pay-per-view, and it got out to a much, much larger audience. This is like, this was bigger than the WWE Network because you didn't, like you said, you didn't have to pay for this. Everybody got NBC.
Yeah.
So this was a completely different situation than that. But there were a lot of big moments throughout the history of the show. Some bigger than others, I would say. All of the episodes are actually available for streaming on the WWE Network right now.
Only $9.99, by the way.
Oh yeah. However, the episodes on the network are not 100% original. May 85 through January 88 episodes do not have the original opening and closing theme songs, probably for trademark purposes. Sponsored segments that aired as part of the original broadcast, such as the Mountain Dew Slam of the Night, have been removed as well. That's not a big deal. It's not like, that was a crucial part of the show that they're
careful you say that too, but yeah, I agree.
Well, and I'm looking here. Help me out here because it says the original network. It says NBC and Fox. Did this air on Fox?
Fox was when it came back in 1991, I think. Late 91, early 92. Yeah.
So NBC stopped airing them?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I'm going to assume this was before they were with USA Network, which carried all the other shows. So.
I think, because when was the first Raw?
1993.
Okay.
A year after this, stopped airing, I think. Maybe less than a year. Definitely the next year, though.
Right. Well, the original theme song, I'd have to look this up because I don't know this one. Obsession by Animotion.
Yeah.
And then
I think that song was on Grand Theft Auto Vice City, actually.
I'd have to check it out.
That's how I know it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. The second theme song was just called Saturday Night's Main Event by Douglas Grama, whatever. So they got their own custom theme. But then when it returned in 2006 and went all the way to 2008, the theme was Boom by POD.
Yeah, I actually love that song.
Yeah, I do too. But there was also the main event. Do you remember that? Or it wasn't Saturday Night's Main Event?
That was the Hogan Andre match, actually. It was on a Friday.
Yeah, it was a spin-off of Saturday Night's Main Event that aired on NBC on Friday nights during prime time. There were 5 shows total between 88 and 91. only the first 3, the main event episodes, were shown live on NBC. The final 2 were taped and then shown on NBC at a later date. And yes, it included mainly high-card wrestlers of the WWF, like Hogan, Andre, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Teddy DiBiase. See, that right there, that statement, just to, for people who aren't familiar, that wasn't a thing back in the day. Like, if you were watching, like, what was there back then? Superstars of Wrestling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
then, there's another one.
Wasn't it just WWF
Superstars.
Worldwide or?
No, that was WCW.
Oh, okay. Prime
I think
Time.
it was just Super Prime Time. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Primetime Wrestling. Yeah. Those shows, for those of you out there, you didn't get to see competitive matches on those 9 times out of 10.
Well, you're lucky to get one at the end, but you just, looking back at it, you knew who was going to win.
Yeah, and it wasn't big matches with stipulations or stakes involved or anything like that. It was a lot of squash matches and one-sided endeavors that you kind of you knew what was coming. This was not that. I mean, I don't know if every single match up and down the card was, a super competitive high stakes match, but they tried to keep it entertaining and something that was like, oh, well, this is, it's like it matters. If I miss this show, I'll actually miss something, which is why it's very
comparable. I felt
comparable.
that way. I really did when I was a kid.
Yeah, which is it's comparable to pay-per-views in today's world or network specials or whatever the hell you want to call them.
Except the Saudi Arabia ones.
Oh, God, yeah. If you miss those, you miss absolutely nothing except for Shane McMahon winning again. But
that's in the world.
Yeah. Wow, I'm gonna smack you. But then there's and I brought this up to you. It was kind of like their version of Clash of the Champions, right?
Pretty much.
Because before there was
actually, I think this came first though. So
I'm looking it up now, actually, because I got to remind myself.
Clash of Champions went head to head WrestleMania 4, I believe. So this definitely came first.
Yeah, so basically Clash of the Champions was their version of Saturday Night's Main Event almost. It aired on TBS, and the original air date for that was March 27th, 1988. So 3 years after the very first ever Saturday Night's Main Event. And this one, the Clash of the Champions was like this in the way of it was basically their version of a pay-per-view. But weren't they always free on TV, though?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah. So it was kind of the same thing. And the only difference is like Saturday Night's Main Event and the main event were just that. There were no numbers, taglines, nothing like that. Whereas Clash of the Champions always had a number to it. And it always, you look through the list, there's, Miami Mayhem, Fall Brawl, Seasons Beating, St. Valentine's Massacre, Ragin' Cajun, the list goes on and on. Some really, really bad ones, but some not so bad ones.
How dare you?
Like this one, Knoxville, USA, but it's not like an X for Knoxville. It's the like knock, like, you're punched or something. And there's
that one's bad.
Yeah, there's Dixie Dynamite.
That literally sounds like a TNA thing.
Yeah. Yeah, right. A lot of these are just so Coastal Crush, Texas Shootout. Yeah, like this just goes to show you it's like they were a down south kind of company. After a while, they just kicked the taglines completely, starting at Clash of the Champions 21. They never had another tagline after that. But yeah, so either way, they were close, but there was 9 seasons of Clash of the Champions, 35 episodes total. I'm trying to see here. Saturday Night's Main Event, there were 36 episodes. So there was one more Saturday Night's Main Event than there were Clash of the Champions. Either way, but this was pre-pay-per-view, people. Although WCW, I think, didn't get the hint. They were still running these while they were doing pay-per-views, I believe, weren't they?
Yep.
whatever. That's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. But we're not talking about Clash of the Champions today. We were talking about the great... And we are going to talk about matches, but only if they had something significant, like a significant moment that happened in the match. We're not going to go on about full matches and give episode reviews and stuff like that. This is all about the moments here. We got a list, bro! Bro, I made a list, bro.
We're going to put it on a poll, bro.
But anyway, first moment we need to dive into that was of real significance, and I told you before we went on air, you're really going to lead a lot of this because you remember this way more than I do. Hulk Hogan took on Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff in a steel cage match. Was this for the title?
Yes, it was after I'm trying to think of the timeline. I want to say it was like late 86, after WrestleMania 2.
Okay.
So, like, Orndorff comes out to Real American. He stole the song, said he deserved it or something like that. Well, that was the explanation they gave on TV. There's like an urban legend that they accidentally played the song when he was coming out, and Vince Ventura covered it up. So I don't know.
Oh, good Lord.
I don't know.
That's weird.
It was one of the better cage matches in that era, too, by the way.
Old Big Blue.
The finish is like the first time this has been done, but they've since overused it. Like both got out at the same time, and then they fought who hit first, blah blah.
Well,
it was a good match though.
So that was the first time one of the first times they used that in the modern era, I guess, or the golden era.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, not saying they were the first to do it. People out there, don't get mad, nerds, and send me an angry letter.
Well, they've definitely done it the most.
Yeah. Well, I heard about those big cages. You remember when they took old Big Blue and they changed it to black bars in the Attitude Era? Well, according to Bruce Pritchard, the reason they stopped using that cage was after St. Valentine's Day Massacre, when Vince McMahon had to wrestle in that damn thing. And he was like, wow, that cage sucks. And they said, yeah, we've been telling you that for years.
I think Bret Hart was the biggest proponent of it.
I will say this.
I think he said it felt like more of a cage. I think it was him that said that. Like a wrestling cage, anyway. It's not like a traditional mesh fence.
Well, they were the only ones to ever, as far as I know, ever use that like a different kind of cage. Everybody else I've ever seen, like any territory or promotion or whatever, has always used like the Cyclone cage until TNA came along. Then they changed it up a couple of times. But I've never seen any other federation or organization or territory ever use a cage like that. That was weird. I liked it, though. As a fan, visually, I loved it. But I don't know. I heard it was really hard to work with because there was absolutely zero freaking give.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just hard bars.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I guess it looks more brutal rubbing somebody's face into the steel mesh rather than rubbing somebody's face into that.
I imagine if you go back first in a steel mesh, it might be easier than going
much
straight bars.
Right, yeah. That would I'd be like, screw you. I don't know how many bumps like a Hogan took into that thing, but that was the first one. Speaking of cage matches, that was leading in. Well, that couldn't have been after WrestleMania 2. That must have been beforehand, the steel cage, because we made a chronological list, and King Kong Bundy squashed Hogan before WrestleMania 2, and that was their cage match.
Yeah.
So, did you watch that one live, or
I was 2.
So maybe.
So I'm thinking no.
Maybe. That doesn't mean anything. I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, Hogan, for those of you, played up the whole, Bundy squashed him multiple times with the avalanche and busted up his ribs. Yeah,
but Orndorff was still face during this, so it had to happen after that.
Okay, so maybe we got our chronological order wrong. I don't know. Because I remember we've covered, for those of you in the YouTube archives, we have covered Hogan
or well, all of WrestleMania 2, and that's where Hulk Hogan took on King Kong Bundy in the steel cage, and that was where Hogan came out, ribs taped up, and absolutely no-sold the fact that he supposedly had a rib injury throughout that whole match. That was great.
Well, he hulked up.
Oh yeah, from the get-go. But either way, yeah, I mean that, and the weird thing was that was the second best match on that entire WrestleMania 2 card.
Right behind the epic boxing match. Yeah, we got.
Oh my God, you need stabbed. That's 2 for one episode. You're gonna get stabbed. But yeah, so for those of you, it's in the YouTube archives. Go check out our WrestleMania 2 review. But yeah, Hogan got crushed. And the weird thing was, I brought this up to you about Hogan wore some weird stuff every once in a while on Saturday Night's Main Event. He wore, I went back and watched this. He was wearing white knee pads with his yellow boots and yellow trunks during this.
I think in his book he said there were times where he just couldn't find certain gear.
Well, it's weird that he had some, like the white knee pads. We know where they came from because he used to wear the blue trunks and the white knee pads, and then he switched to the red and yellow all the time. But there was one, and I don't know if it was a significant one. I just happened to see a clip of a match he was in. I don't even remember who he was facing, but he was wearing green, like a pale pea green for his trunks and his boots, and then he wore red knee pads. And I went, what the F are you wearing?
New look,
no.
brother.
He's like, I got these when they wanted to make me Irish, brother. But yeah, so a lot of these moments, by the way, spoiler alert, was a lot of these were involving Hogan. So
what was his show?
Basically, yeah. After the King Kong Bundy thing, that led into WrestleMania 2. Which came next, because we've got this moment on there twice. Hogan Andre 2. Was that before
that
or
one
after?
Came after WrestleMania 3.
Okay, well, which came first? Honky Tonk versus Macho and the Mega Power. Oh, that was after.
That's after,
right?
Yeah.
So the twin referee angle was Hogan Andre 2, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So the twin referee angle, for those of you unaware, this was 87. I remember on...
Nope, 88.
88? Okay, well...
February 88.
Okay. Yeah. I knew it was after 87, or at least late 87 or after 87, because Pritchard talked about this at length on his show, Bruce Pritchard, for all of you. He talked about he was hired in 87, and they asked him when he was at Gorilla, they're like, you want to know the finish of the main event? And he was like, nope, I'm good. He was like, do I have to know it? And they said, well, no. All right. And he's like, okay, then don't tell me. He said he was confused as hell watching that, and he thought this is the greatest angle of all time. It was great. And then Hogan did the interviews afterwards. Like, I remember like that iconic image of like he sees one referee, he sees the other referee, he grabs them both by their shirts and like hold them and like looking back and forth like, how are there two of you?
My favorite was when he go, how much money did they spend on plastic surgery?
Yeah. Yes, because the whole thing was Andre the Giant was working for under whatever Ted DiBiase, and Ted wanted. Was this where Andre won the belt and gave it to Ted?
Yeah. Are we supposed to say belt?
God dang it, championship, pal. It's not a belt, damn it. But anyway, you know what? I'm a normal guy, just like the rest of you. I put my pants on one leg at a time, put my championship on to hold them up, you know.
Well, yeah, me too.
I actually used to, I don't know if I still do, but I used to have a big-ass belt buckle it looked like the UFC title. But, yeah, I don't wear that. I don't wear that around too much because, you know, I don't want people thinking I'm too white. But either way.
Got it.
But yeah, so it was Dave Hebner worked for the WWF.
Yeah, he was the ref.
Yeah, and Earl Hebner worked for the WCW. Both are twins, for those of you unaware. And WWF hired Earl right before this. Not specifically for this, but according to Pritchard, it was because Dave wanted to stop refereeing and take a backstage role, and Earl kind of wanted to jump ship. So they said, perfect, you'll just step right in. And he said, actually, after this, they called Earl Dave on TV for a while until they finally just gave up and was like, that's Earl.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Speaking of, I've already got this joke in a couple times today, but can you think of a more white duo of names than Dave and Earl?
Jim Bob.
Oh, God. But yeah, Dave. So Earl was the evil referee.
Yes.
Okay, and
how apropos what he would do.
Oh my God!
Less than a decade later.
Right? I know. Hey, man, he didn't screw Brett. Okay. Well, actually, yes, he did. He doesn't his shirt says "Damn right I did."
Damn right I did. Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, you can get them out of the back of his van at every indie wrestling promotion you go to. Anyway, he kind of run it down. What happened?
Oh, let's see. I think the referee went down. No, he never went down. I think Earl started the match. Yeah, and then Andre did his double arm suplex, which is like the ugliest finisher I've ever seen, especially for a guy his size. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It looks like he just picks him up and just rolls over on him. And the referee just counts 3 despite Hogan getting up. Just gives the title to Andre. And then he, quote, sells it to the $1 Million Man. And then Dave comes running out. And then Hogan looks at them both and is like, what the hell's going on? And, everyone's confused. And Vince is like, there's two Dave Hebners. What's going on?
For those of you, he was talking about Dave Hebner, not Uncle Dave, who we will not mention here on the show. But anyway.
No, never.
Yeah. But.
I peeked next to him once.
Oh, gosh. I mentioned that last week. See, I gave you a shout out on last week's episode and you didn't even listen. Either way.
Hey, in my defense, I've been super busy. But I have it in my queue. I really do. I do have it in my queue, I promise.
Better damn well have it in your queue.
I think, if I remember right, Hogan picks up Earl and throws him, and I think he accidentally dislocates his shoulder.
Oh, damn.
I think, if I remember right.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I know he...
Andre and Ted and Virgil. Yeah, Virgil's on there, too.
Hell yeah.
That moment was so great.
Well, yeah, that's why everybody remembers.
That was a huge moment. I didn't watch that live, though. I mean, I was like 4, but I have a feeling I would have cried my eyes out, probably.
Probably. Yeah, well, then the promos afterwards, I can't even remember what it was. Like, Hogan was screaming and yelling backstage, and wasn't he like, they're both the same, or something like that?
Yeah, they look the same, and that's when he asked, how much money did Ted pay for plastic surgery to get 2 guys look the same, all that crap.
See, that's when, like, you thought the world title meant something, because Hogan was, like, devastated that he lost that title. Now,
yeah, he had it for 4 years straight. So
yeah, now Brock loses the title, and he's like, "Look, I want it back, but I'll take my time."
I got a year.
Yeah, I love when he smacked Heyman. That was great. But yeah, so that was probably, that might be the most iconic moment in Saturday Night Main Event history. Well, it's at least tied in the top 3, I'd say. The
top
next,
5.
Oh man, it's in my fave 5, dog. The next one, this was definitely iconic as well. The Honky Tonk Man took on the Macho Man. Was this for the IC title?
Yes, I think so. No, yeah.
This was the one where they, like, Honky Tonk said that they called him into a room and they wanted him to drop the title to Macho Man, and he said he refused to do it because, according to him, it was like Dick Ebersol, Vince McMahon, Macho Man, and Elizabeth, and him. And he said when he was called in, it was like at the last minute, and they had already devised the plan, and they're like, all right, you're going to do this and this and this. What? And then they turned to Macho Man and kind of like asked for his input and everything. And he said he, quote, felt left out. So,
oh, no.
And he said that he called home and told his wife, and his wife told him, if you let them job you out on TV, you're going to be worthless, or something to that effect. So he said no.
What the hell made him a huge star?
You know what, man? I don't know. He was the original Elias.
Well, no one wanted to walk with Honky Tonk.
I did. Well, no, you don't walk with Honky Tonk, damn it. You ride with him in his pink Cadillac.
Oh, my God.
He's got Peggy Sue beside him and the Colonel's in the back. All right? I always love when Eric Bischoff talks about firing his, quote, fat hillbilly ass.
I couldn't wait to fire him.
Yeah, he's like, I wish I could keep him on payroll just so I could Skype him every day and fire him all over again. I'm like, you're such a dick.
You must have really been an ass to him.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, damn, dude, you don't even hate on Beefcake that bad. But
who the hell could hate on Beefcake?
A lot of people. Most recently, I found out Disco Inferno has heat with him because, remember his finisher was the stunner, and he called it the chart buster.
Yeah.
He said that WCW told him quit doing that because now Beefcake's going to do it when he was the disciple.
Oh God!
How
dare they?
What the hell did he even call that move? Do you remember?
The Apocalypse.
Oh hell! Of course he did. Was this pre or post DOA in WWE?
Post.
Okay. So he dressed like a biker. His name was the Disciple, and his finisher was the Apocalypse. Like disciple.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
No.
Disciples of Apocalypse. There you go. And I'll tell you what. As a kid, it took me forever to realize that was Brutus Beefcake.
Yep, me too. The beard and that really did it though.
Yeah, I know. The beard and the bandana. I was like the F, and he changed his hair color. But either way, I digress. But yeah, Honky Tonk Man versus Macho Man for the IC title. Tell me what happened here, because obviously Macho didn't win.
No, this is the formation of the Mega Powers, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Hart Foundation comes out and they all gang up on Macho Man, and then Liz runs to the back and comes out with Hogan, and he cleans house, and then they shake hands. The epic handshake.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's one of the more iconic moments.
Lock it in, brother. Lock it in. Oh, yeah. That's why I said the twin referee and the formation of the Mega Powers, and then we'll get to it eventually, but the breakup of the Mega Powers, those, I think, are the top three, in my opinion, moments in Saturday Night Main Event history. Am I wrong?
Nope. Those would be mine.
Well, there's one coming up that may be more iconic, but we'll save that.
Iconic.
We'll save that when we get to. Oh my good lord! I want to get to this one since we're already on the Mega Powers. It was them versus the Twin Towers. For those of you who don't know, that was what Akeem, the African Dream. # never forget. And,
oh my god!
And
I thought that was a thing with you.
Well, of course. And the Big Boss Man. Or, if we're going, I guess Akeem was probably that guy's best gimmick, absolutely. But then,
hell yes.
And then we've got to go with the Guardian Angel, right?
Oh my god.
Oh, but anyway, getting back to this, what happened when the Mega Powers and the Twin Towers collided?
Well, this is the one where they break up, actually. So Macho Man gets thrown out of the ring and he hits Liz. And Hogan picks her up and takes her to the back. I think Hogan comes back out. Macho Man slaps him. I forget the finish at the moment. But then they both go to the back, and Hogan's checking on Liz, and then Savage attacks him with the belt. I mean, the championship.
Yeah, damn it, pal. Was this the was this the time where Hogan's he missed the time cue and he's over Liz? Yeah,
but they edited that out, I think.
Well, of course, yeah. But in the original, if anybody can find it, I think it's still on YouTube. He looks up, he's kneeled over Liz, and he looks up and he's like, "What's my tizime?" or something like that. And they were like, "Dude, you're on now." And he's like, "Oh."
I thought that was funny because it was way ahead of his time. Tizime. No pun intended, by the way, but he was hella far into his time.
Well, yeah, he was the first dude to I mean, he was the original brother. Come on, man. But yeah, so that was, and then he suddenly breaks into tears. Oh God, Liz! Ah. And then the iconic moment of Macho's holding the championship, sitting there pointing at Hogan, berating him, and then they he's like, whatever, and they start to walk away. and Macho runs up behind him and just blasts the crap out of him in the back of the head and just knocks crap all over the room. Liz is screaming. Iconic, man. They show all that in the build up to WrestleMania 6 or 5, right? 6 was Warrior. My bad. We review WrestleMania 5 in the archives. Actually, go check that out. But yeah, so the Mega Powers exploded, brother. Good stuff. And this was right before, not too long before the Macho King, right?
It's the same year. Yeah, it's eventually going to happen.
Yeah. So no more Liz and enter Sherry Martel. So,
Scary Sherry.
We got to talk about Brutus the effin' Barber Beefcake.
Yes, please.
More of that. This was one of the, in my opinion, one of the more memorable Barber moments. He took on Outlaw Ron Bass, shaved that dude's head.
And then Bass would get him back by shaving his head later, I believe, or cutting his hair.
Didn't he blast him in the, bust him open with his spur?
Yeah. I believe he whipped him with his, the whip, I think.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, I guess Beefcake bled pretty bad from this, and they said, didn't they put that, sensor thing up over his face? Yeah.
A huge X, or, no, it was like one of those not smoking signs, like a circle with a line through it, something like that.
Yeah, I think it said censored or something like that. I don't know. Either way. Yeah, he busted Beefcake the hell open. Well, is this, they had an actual match, didn't they, where Beefcake just, put him to sleep?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Ron Bass was over as hell in the territory days. Not so much in the WWF, I don't think.
Well, they didn't like the Southern Wrestlers.
Yeah. I mean, this was his only memorable program, wasn't it, with Beefcake?
I can't think of any other ones.
Yeah. Came in, got his hair cut, blasted Beefcake with his spur, beat the hell out of him, and I think Beefcake just beat him, didn't he?
Yeah, he ended a lot of streaks. I don't know why he was the guy. He was the first one to be Mr. Perfect, too.
Well, because he's Brutus the effing Barber, man. Why not?
That's true. What was I thinking?
And I guess he was super, people say he was super paranoid because when they first labeled him Brutus Beefcake and he was supposed to have a male stripper persona type deal, he was going to walk out on the company right then and there because he thought they were messing with him and they were trying to rib him. And then when they gave him the Barber persona, he did the same thing. He was about ready to quit and walk out again, and Hogan had to talk him into staying.
And now he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, how about that? By the way, I have a Jax figure of Brutus Beefcake.
Of course you do.
Well, why wouldn't I? He's Brutus the effing Barber.
Yeah, you're right.
This was still, Brutus Beefcake was cool and all, but I preferred the Booty Man.
With his special move, the high knee.
Hell yeah, man. If that doesn't scream main eventer, I don't know what does. And later on, he would go on to be Brother Booty. Not making this up, people. But yeah.
This is all after, what was that guy's name in the Dungeon of Doom?
Zodiac?
Yeah, the Zodiac.
Yes, no, yes, no. He made an appearance in Mr. Nanny.
Why? Did he really?
Yeah.
Also, I've never seen that movie.
How have you never seen Mr. Nanny? You're a huge Hogan
one I've ever seen.
Have you seen Santa with Muscles?
I have, yeah.
Oh God, I haven't even seen that crap. No, Hogan, the opening scene where you see Hulk Hogan, he's fishing on a dock, and he passed out and he's dreaming, and in his dream he's wrestling, and one of the people he's wrestling is the Zodiac.
Oh wow! Now I want to see it.
Had to get him paid somehow, brother. But yeah, you mentioned a certain person that Brutus Beefcake ended his perfect streak. Now that's the next moment. Mr. Perfect smashed the WWF title.
Dude, I remember watching. That was one of the first ones I remember watching, and if I remember, I was horrified.
How dare he deface the winged eagle?
Could he at least get up the non-winged eagle?
Yeah, right. Well, It's okay, Greg, because they had like a million colorful backups when the Ultimate Warrior became champion. So
that's true.
Which for some reason Sergeant Slaughter still carried around. But when was give me a time frame here? When was this that he smashed the WWF title?
I think it was late '89.
Okay, what's that? WrestleMania.
Right between 5 and 6.
Okay. Why did he smash the WWF title?
Well, him and Hogan were just feuding at the time, and he didn't win it. And he was mad and said if he wasn't going to have it, you finished drinking or what?
Sorry.
He said if he wasn't going to have it, no one was, and him and the Genius broke it.
Wow. Well, that's all right then.
Yeah, that's a reason to break it.
There was a rumor there for a while, and it was debunked, and it's not true, that this was the title used for the Hardcore Championship later on.
The real story is even funnier. It's just a freaking toy.
Well, the Hardcore title was a toy, or this belt?
Yeah. All he said was just a toy they broke up and put back together.
Good Lord.
Oh,
that's
man.
Funny. Well, the strap wasn't even the same color. I mean, I guess you could have got a new strap, but still. I guess this title was like just junked after it was broke. I think they just threw it away, didn't they?
Or put it on, have it in the warehouse. I don't know.
Yeah,
Guess you have to ask Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, yeah, it's probably in his box of gimmicks.
There is no box of gimmicks.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, just like there's no Biff. Inside joke. Sorry, people. Anyway, up next, I almost called him Hollywood. Hulk Hogan took on the Big Boss Man on a Saturday night's main event, and a certain person debuted. This was what I was saying, maybe the biggest moment in Saturday night main event history.
Oh, shut the hell up.
The debut of Zeus.
Oh, man.
Hey,
I like
man.
how he walks to the ring and Zeus is just on the stairs with his arms folded. Like, nobody saw him go there. It's oh, man. Apparently, this was supposed to set up for WrestleMania 6, and I'm glad it didn't.
Thank God. We almost got Zeus versus Hulk Hogan for the title. This was, this was before obviously, because it was his debut, the whole Hulk Hogan versus Zeus, the no holds barred, the match, the movie deal. What was that on TV? Didn't they show like a combo, like the match and then the movie, or vice versa?
Yeah, the movie and then the match.
Okay.
The match was the steel cage match. It was Zeus and Macho against Hulk Hogan and Brutus, the effing Barber Beefcake.
Well, and then that wasn't good enough, man. They had to. It was so good they had to put it on SummerSlam.
Yeah. No, well, that came first.
Oh, excuse
me. The rematch was the cage.
So that was so good they had to put it in a cage. And then WCW saw something in this fool so much they hired him and called him Z Gangsta.
Oh man! And who did he wrestle in his one and only match?
Was it Hogan? I don't even know.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah, it was Hogan and Savage against the Alliance to End Hulkamania.
Now in the archives, we review that stupid uncensored '96, which was
first ever 2-on-9 handicap match.
Oh yeah, baby!
In a 3-tier cage at uncensored. That's just got money written all over it.
You're damn right it does. I don't know if you're being sarcastic right now, but I don't like your tone. But man, so much. I realize we're digressing a lot in this podcast, people, but I mean, we're talking about things around these characters and involving these guys. We're trying to be entertaining here. Zeus, though, what did he even do in his debut? Like, what happened here?
Well, he was just sitting on this. He was standing on the steps, his arms folded, and like breathing heavily. You could see his whole upper body moving as he breathed. And Hogan just came out to the cage, and he's like looking around the crowd, like, "Who the hell is this? Who the hell is this?" And I'm like, "You know who that is?" It made some more sense if the movie hadn't came out yet, But
yeah,
not that any of this made sense, but it would make some. Yeah.
Well, in kayfabe land, it was stupid because on top of everything, it's like, okay, he's not Zeus. He's Tiny Lister.
Well, no, the story is he convinced himself he really was Zeus, and he wanted revenge for Hulk or Rip winning in the movie. You can't make this up.
Yeah, because
and you know what? Why would you? We'd be wasting everyone's time.
So stupid. Yet the other actor, well, I don't know, because they said on the red carpet, the one guy who played like the main villain, that like wanted to buy Rip's contract or whatever, he was in like full like kayfabe mode on the red carpet playing his character.
Oh, that's dedication.
Yeah.
Method acting I've ever seen.
For those of you who don't know, that was the a-hole from the mayor's office in Ghostbusters 2. He's the one that sends the Ghostbusters to the insane asylum. But yeah.
He always plays a jackass, doesn't he?
Basically. He's been a good guy in a couple of movies, but he's like that dude, I can't remember his name, from he was the bad guy in Star Wars Rogue One. The one that like Darth Vader punks out, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I can't think of his name, but yeah.
Next moment here, the Rockers win the tag team titles, but it never officially aired because during the match, it was a pre-taped match, the ropes broke.
No! Don't give that away.
the match never made air because during the taping of it, the top rope broke. Vince McMahon thought, well, it looks like crap, we can't use this. And then they acted like it never happened, and then they never gave the Rockers the championships after that.
Yeah. They never won the tag titles officially. I never understood that.
It never made sense. Why did he suddenly decide, you know what? Nah. What?
Well, the official rule was the ropes broke, so the match should have been stopped or something like that. That's what they went with when word started getting around.
Yeah, but then they never gave them the titles. Like, you'd think, okay, let's do a
They
do-over.
got a rematch on the next episode, and they didn't win. So
who was that they beat?
The Hart Foundation.
Man, that's just the first time that Brett and Sean went at it, and one of them got screwed.
That should have been like a sign of things to come right there.
Yeah. After that day, Sean never trusted Brett again.
Everyone's like, who's the Jannetty of the team? I mean, no disrespect, I'm sorry, but, Anvil wasn't exactly hot stuff after that either.
Well, no.
Why does Jannetty always get the crap, though?
Because he stayed prominent. Because when the Rockers broke up, Sean and Marty kind of went their separate ways, and that was
Hold on. No, I know where you're going. But did Marty Jannetty not win the Intercontinental title?
He did. And
did Jim Neidhart win it? I'm just saying, and no disrespect to the dead, because I loved them, don't get me wrong, but why is it always who's the Jannetty of the team? Why isn't it who's the Anvil of the team?
Yeah, I don't disagree. You got a point
and
there.
I am not crapping on him, and I am not saying people are wrong for saying the Jannetty, but it shouldn't just be the Jannetty. Right.
Well, the next moment is iconic. It led up to...
Iconic!
Gosh. It led up to a big moment. I mean, this was a big moment. It led up to a big, kind of confusing moment. Let's just say it was Sid Justice turning on Hulk Hogan, and that set up their match at WrestleMania 8. Kind of run that down for me, like what happened.
Okay, so Royal Rumble, Sid helps Flair eliminate Hogan, essentially.
Yeah.
It's every man for himself, and Hogan's getting mad at him. Side note, by the way, that moment was cheered, and Gorilla Monsoon defended it live, but they changed everything for what you see on the network and DVD and stuff. It's completely different. Yeah, but the fans cheered the hell out of it. Dude, Sid was mega over in his day. People don't realize that.
Yeah,
I don't care what his personal opinion on him. I love the guy too. He was always one of my favorites, but he was mega over. You go watch any of his stuff when he wins titles. People are going nuts for this guy.
Well, even Jim Cornette, who says he couldn't wrestle for crap. He was like, well, of course he was, because he's been asked. They're like, well, why was he a horseman? He's like, well, just freaking look at the guy. I mean, God, nobody looks like that.
Yeah, he was super over.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and he had it. That's why people crap on Batista and him and whatever. But I mean, they had the look, bro. And
no, they don't.
Yeah, not that look, bro. But they had the look. They had charisma, and no, they weren't the best on the mic. Sid cut some decent promos. Not the greatest, and he sure had his handful of gaps.
I'll say when he had good ones, they were good. So I'll say that.
Hell yeah! When we reviewed the year 1995 now in the archives, I watched some of his promos back then, and they were good. When he stays in character, he does well. It was only stuff like it's like, what did he say? I have half the you have half the brain I do, or I have half the brain.
I
you
have
do,
half
whatever.
the brain you do.
Yeah, that crap. And there was one where he said something about he eats crap or something, like, I don't even remember how he worded it, but it was almost like he was yelling at like Bret Hart, I think, on Raw, and he said,
I ain't, for lack of a better word, crap.
Yeah, it was almost like if any of you, to make a Happy Gilmore reference, it was like Shooter McGavin there. I eat piece of crap like you for breakfast. Yeah.
No.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. So anyways, we're getting far away. So he helps Flair eliminate Hogan, and then Hogan's mad at him. They make nice with one another, and then there's a WrestleMania 8 press conference to see who's going to face Flair for the title, and they end up picking Hogan. And Sid's really pissed off and yelling at Jack Tunney. That's a whole nother story, why Hogan and Flair didn't happen. But yet they set it up.
Yeah.
But anyways, then he says, they make nice again. On Saturday Night's Main Event, it's those two against Undertaker and Flair. The good grief, what a four-man match that is.
Right.
And that sets up WrestleMania 8.
Yeah.
This was the first...
That freaking match.
This was the first one on Fox, I believe. Or one of the first ones. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
If you go back and look at it, the logo is completely different for Saturday Night's Main Event too. It's completely different.
Yeah, I noticed that it kind of changed designs there. At some point.
That's the one where they went to Fox. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was big, but it led to I like how, well, a couple things about Sid here before we move on. Was Sid was supposed to be the next Hulk Hogan, and he turned it down because he said, "Oh, I like being a heel better." So he wouldn't do it, even though everybody and their mother in WWF wanted him to do it. And then they led up to this damn match at WrestleMania. Was that the one Papa Shango missed his cue?
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed his cue to run out and break up the leg drop. So Sid had to kick out, which nobody does. And then freaking
Hogan... That alone should have established him right there.
Right. And didn't Hogan win via DQ?
Yep.
Why? He was going away. Why did he win?
Because the other way didn't work for him, brother.
Yeah, he stroked his Fu Manchu. It's like losing to Sid. That doesn't work for me, brother. Having Papa Shango cost him the match, that works for me, brother. Oh, my gosh. It was so stupid.
Also, I want to point out that Papa Shango interfered in that match and literally never did anything after that.
Yeah.
Involved in the finish of WrestleMania. Not just another event, not just a match on the card, the finish of the entire event. And literally went on to do nothing.
Yep. And then he came back years later as the Godfather, and that's what we love to remember him as.
Technically, Papa Shango's in the Hall of Fame if you really want to get technical. So think about that. Yeah. And Sid's not. So just think about that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Well, maybe, you don't know. Maybe he can't make it to the Hall of Fame ceremony. He's out playing softball. I don't know.
Holy crap.
Had to get one reference in.
You're not even joking either. Okay.
Anyway, maybe if they ever hold WrestleMania in Arkansas, you might have to skip.
No.
I don't think they have a single.
I think you have a better shot at it in Cleveland than you in Arkansas. I'll say that.
Yeah, and think about April in an open arena in Cleveland.
Oh, you're the Cleveland expert. I don't know. Is that bad?
Yeah. Let's just say there's still an over 50% chance that there will be feet of snow that day.
Okay, never mind. Still a better shot than Arkansas, though. I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, I agree. Shawn Michaels defeated the British Bulldog on Saturday Night's Main Event for the Intercontinental title. This was HBK's first title ever.
And Bulldog's last match for that time being.
Really? What, did he go back to WCW?
Well, from what I've heard, he was heavily on steroids and drugged up. and his back was just jacked up apparently in his whole match. So
man, which was ironic because
watch it. The back part's believable because the match is not that good.
Which is ironic because he took on a guy who had to retire because of back issues.
Yep. And then Bulldog would go on to damn near break his back in WCW.
Oh gosh,
all this is ironic. Wow.
Lots of back issues here. Well,
ironically, Sean probably hurt his back in this match carrying it too. There you go. There's another one.
Good Lord. Hey, that's why Sean had to retire, because he had to carry a lot of frickin' matches throughout his career. Well, I don't know.
I'm not speaking ill of the dead either, because when I was a kid, I was a huge British Bulldog mark. So
I have a Jax figure of him.
I have a Mattel figure of him.
So do I. I have both. I have a Jax figure of Shawn Michaels too. A few of them.
I got a Mattel one of him. Boom. Two of them.
I think I have.
got this. Shawn Michaels we're talking about right now. I have his figure.
I think I have 4 Mattel figures of him. So and yeah.
You make your Jax photo for the episode.
Yeah. But anyway, stop nerding out here. The last things we have to cover here. The return in 06, man. The only big moments I remember is didn't Edge take on John Cena for the WWE title?
Yeah, and then DX versus the Spirit Squad.
Oh, can't forget that one. Epic. Iconic. Mickey
James heel turn on Trish.
There you go, man. And something involving the Big Show, if I remember correctly.
Oh, can't forget about Evander Holyfield versus Matt Hardy in a boxing match.
Oh,
because that's fair.
Well, yeah, man, that's more one-sided than Butterbean versus Bart Gunn. What the hell? Why was that even a thing?
MVP hired Evander Holyfield to take his place or something like that.
There was also the street fight between Shawn Michaels and Shane McMahon.
Probably the best match of its entire return.
I don't remember any of these matches. I vaguely remember Edge versus John Cena because I was hella hyped for it.
You have the network. Go watch it.
No. I don't know. I might. After this, I'll say this. I loved the look, bro, of the show.
Messed up.
Yes. I always loved the logo, the color scheme, the sets.
I'll say this too, to your point. Every time I get a new WWE 2K game, that's one of the first arenas I go download. So just because of that.
It should be on the game. I don't know why it's not.
Well, it sometimes is, sometimes isn't, but I always get the classic ones just because.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for nostalgia. You know that. Yeah. You know me long enough.
I downloaded that and Clash of the Champions, and I got I got them in my universe on 2K.
That is it. That will do it for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed what you heard. I know that 2 weeks ago I teased that last week was going to be a new Dark Side of Wrestling history, and I didn't lie. I mean, I did drop a new episode, but it was not audio. So it was exclusive to, if you watched the video on YouTube and Rumble, only the video version. It was not long enough to post as a full podcast. I didn't really want to waste everybody's time with that. But next week will be a Dark Side of Wrestling history, because I'm going to be dropping a new episode, and I'm going to combine that with last week's episode, and together their powers will combine to be one full audio episode. Last week I covered the downfall of WCW all the way back from Jim Crockett Promotions up through the early 90s into their final demise in the late 90s into 2001. And next week I'm going to be covering the downfall of the NWA, going through the territory days all up into the downfall of the territories and just the NWA crumbling as a whole for various reasons. And I'm going to be covering different phases of the NWA's falling apart and downfall and eventual collapse. And yes, the NWA is technically alive today, but in name only. The actual NWA is dead, and it's been dead for a long time. I'll cover all of that in next week's episode. So get ready. Prepare for Dark Side of a Wrestling History next week. Like I said, I'm going to be covering the downfalls of WCW and the NWA. It's going to be fun had by all, except for anybody involved with the downfalls of those companies. But either way, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you enjoy the Royal Rumble coming up here. I believe it's coming up this weekend. The date is January 31st. So yeah, it is coming up this Saturday, man. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I will try to catch up with it as well. I might give my opinions on it next week, along with the Dark Side of Wrestling History. We'll see. And I will see you all later.